So Faisal is making really good progress. His English is improving. We were playing on the playground the other day, and I was chasing him, and he was having fun, and he called me stupid head. So I felt very good because I know his English is improving, but I had to laugh and say, no, not nice.
And he's somewhat used it in the right context,
He
being
did.
a little offensive, but okay.
We did. So thank you for meeting with me today. As Faisal's general education teacher, I see a lot of how he is functioning in the classroom, but you have expertise and knowledge as the special education teacher that I don't have, so I'm hoping to get some good strategies and things from you today.
Okay, well, let's see where he how he's progressed in the last 3 months since he's been here, and then we will see what's working and what hasn't been working, and then we'll see if we can come up with some new strategies to help him a little bit better. What strategies in his classroom do you see? What strengths and weaknesses do you see in him?
Well, academically, in his own language, in Arabic, he is slightly above his grade level, very, very bright. And socially, he gets along well with his peers. He does have some difficulty with communication, but he really wants to interact with them. And behaviorally, he's very, very respectful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, behaviorally, I know in the past he's had anxiety. Has that anxiety and the wandering around the room affected other students' teaching and learning atmosphere?
It does. He's distracting to the other kids. He circles like a shark around and around the classroom if he doesn't really know what to do next, or just kind of seems a little bit disoriented, and that's distracting for the other kids.
So he's not necessarily doing it on purpose. It's just how he's coping with not having direction.
I think so.
Okay. So when he is communicating with another student or with you, is there still that language barrier and that frustration that comes out?
There is. He tries really hard, but he does get frustrated sometimes if he wants a student to do something, like share something, and they don't understand that, he will get very frustrated. He might even yell at them because he's so frustrated.
Okay. So when I came in and observed him a few weeks ago, I noticed that he wanted to be social with the other students very badly. He wanted to have that friendship. He worked well with the other students. So in those instances where he was able to talk to them about hobbies and what they ate for lunch the day before, or whatever that conversation might have been, I noticed that he was really excited and he worked really well. But there was an instance where a student had to ask him to repeat himself a few times, and he got frustrated and a little embarrassed, and he kind of retracted into his own self, which caused more anxiety. And so I noticed that because of that language barrier that was still there, and that frustration, it kind of set up a unfortunate circumstances for the rest of the day. So we'll see if we can figure out a way to help that.
Right.
But there has been a lot of improvement from 3 months ago when he couldn't speak anything. So it's great that he is establishing friendships and bonds and working hard to call people bad names.
Yeah,
say bad words.
That's right.
So,
so he, in addition to coping with the ELL aspect, he has the ADHD too, and I, being a new teacher, have not had all that much experience with ADHD, so I'm kind of wondering what you can tell me about that disability.
Okay.
I can tell you a few things that I've observed, and you have observed some of these too, but he does that circling thing, and he seems very hyperactive. He has a very hard time sitting still for listening to stories or presentations or things like that. He's kind of overly social, which I want to encourage the social aspect, but he can really distract other students from what they're doing. And he's pretty much just very distractible, and he gets off task a lot.
Okay.
So what other things did you notice?
Well, a lot of the same things. I noticed that he did have a difficult time doing classwork, but he did manage to get the homework done when it was placed in his backpack and sent home with him. His parents, it looks like there is a slight parent involvement, and that they might have, or his twin brother may have said, we have homework to do, and he might have pulled it out and been able to work on it at home. And who knows what help or what distractions there were at home. We should definitely get the parents on board and figure out exactly what they're doing at home to get him to complete the work, so we can try and do the same thing in the classroom. But I have noticed that although he doesn't necessarily start his classwork the first time, or he can't focus on one task for a half an hour or longer, in the overall aspect he does get it finished. So finding a way to work with that ADHD, and also it could be problems with ELL, not understanding the text and just getting discouraged. Trying to figure out what exactly the issue is there, which we will have to do with more observation and maybe asking him and questioning the parents.
Okay.
So let's see. Another thing I noticed is he is very respectful in that he understands that he should have a positive attitude, or he should have a respectful attitude towards his classmates. He's never never has put downs, never intentionally wants to disrupt another student, but because of the ADHD, he is unaware of the effects of that social behavior. So finding a way to, if he has a question, maybe have a cup or something that we can place on his desk that's maybe a red cup that says if he has a question or he needs some more help, instead of disrupting another student, the teacher will then know to come over and help him as soon as possible.
Okay, that's a good idea.
And let's see, there are other aspects of some other strategies we can do with ADHD, but I want to figure out a little bit more about the language ability of the ELL in the classroom. So if you could just give me some information about that.
Sure. He is at the speech emergence level of ELL, so he uses simplified English words. His grammar and word choice, he makes mistakes, frequent mistakes there. He will follow simple directions, but I have to use a lot of gesturing.